Comments? Any council member have any comments?
I'll go ahead and kick this off. If
Go ahead, Mr. Lloyd.
Just feel free to cut me off if you want, Mr. President. But thank you, and it's good to be here. Obviously, first day, so there's a lot going on in my head. But it's good to have familiar faces here. I appreciate a couple of you, my biggest supporters here. It means a lot to have you here. And I just want to make a couple comments. But when I was in the military, whenever we would have a new commander come in, it was well understood a good commander wouldn't come in and try to reinvent the wheel or change processes or disrupt the everyday life of people in the organization. And so just for the council's awareness and for transparency and to tell the public, I have no intentions of coming in and trying to do that. But I do think one thing is very obvious that needs to be addressed based on the circumstances and the results of the most recent election. There are 3 new members on the council here today that ran on things like fix the roads, save the farmland, stop overdevelopment, make sure that future growth is commensurate with the infrastructure. And there's a lot of ways to skin that cat, so to speak, and we've discussed some different ones on the campaign and individually. Things like throttling, capping, disincentivizing, incentivizing, imposing fees, or creating a mechanism to be able to say no when it's not in the best interest of the county. But as we begin to have more frequent and serious discussions about that, I want to plant the seed, and I think it's appropriate to discuss the concept of a building moratorium. That's the total stoppage of applications being submitted specifically for, in my mind, major subdivisions in the AR1 lands. Okay, historically moratoriums, the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, they're illegal. Well, they don't have to be, and they're usually succeeded by very significant changes to the zoning code. Changes that I think people have been expecting, and I'm going to advocate for. So to do one of these, in my mind, is meant to achieve a few things. Number one, it prevents an onslaught of applications by people who are seeking exemption from those substantive and imminent changes. Number two, it frees up staff's time. Instead of processing applications, they'll spend their time looking inward at the zoning code, drafting necessary edits to achieve those goals. 3, it allows time for the creation of a task force to gather an inventory of all the undeveloped lands in each of the zoning districts, verifying that we have, in fact, a surplus of low-density zoning, the main contributor of sprawl and lack of infrastructure. Using this data will also be critical to attain in these first 12 months so as to have an effect on the creation of these state strategies for policy and spending, which is due this year and we will be beholden to it for the next 5 years. So in that sense, we cannot afford to wait. 4, there appears to be a lack of transparency regarding financial contributions being made by developers for road improvements. I can think of numerous examples of roads no longer able to be developed, yet we've seen little to no improvements on the part of DelDOT. Where did these contributions go? It's a pressing question, and we'd be bad stewards if we continued to go on with it unaddressed. And finally, this 12-month pause puts a timeline on making necessary changes. We know that government wheels tend to turn slowly, so this will give us a time frame and a backstop to make these much-needed changes. If we don't begin to promptly correct course in our development and growth patterns, we stand to look back 30 years from now and wish somebody called a spade and made motions to address it. And so, again, just to be on the record for transparency and to kind of plant that seed and get my feelings out there, I wanted to say that. I'm happy to proceed or engage in a conversation about any of these items. But other than that, back to you, Mr. President.
Okay. Mr. Moore?
Just from you asked for discussion on the items. Since it's not on the agenda, you can state anything you want, and I think it was very appropriate for you to make the statement you did. But we can't have a discussion because it's not on the agenda. Now, if someone else does, and I understand there's 2 other new members, if they wanted to set forth kind of their reasons for running or what their platform was, that's perfectly appropriate for you to do so. But it can't be a kind of give and take since it wasn't advertised.
Understood.
Okay. Any other comments?
Mr. President? Oh, yeah. I'm honored by the opportunity to serve the 2nd District. I look forward to working alongside my fellow council members and the dedicated staff of Sussex County to preserve and enhance the qualities that make our communities unique and desirable. As we move forward, I'm committed to addressing the issues that matter most to our residents. Guided by a vision of Sussex County sharing farmland and beach sand, this is a place where families can thrive, businesses can grow, and future generations can afford to build their lives with confidence. In fulfilling this responsibility, I pledge to make decisions that are both thoughtful and well-informed. I share this position with 4 individuals who have expressed many of the same concerns as residents of the 2nd District, and I trust that together we will work as a team to evaluate the best path forward for Sussex County and its residents. Any new position comes with a steep learning curve. Whether it was a fire company, the town, or the school board, going into it, I did not know what I did not know. But I look forward to this work and building a stronger future for Sussex County.
Thanks, Mr. McCarron. Dr. Grunberg?
Yes,
Grunwald?
thank you. That's fine. It's a tough name. I want to also echo the comments of my colleagues that it's indeed an honor to be here, and it's a heavy responsibility that I know we all feel, and we've talked about it. I think we all recognize that our election was a voice from constituents throughout the county for some change in the way development is done. And I think we all know that the work before us is challenging and difficult, that we have many paths that we will have to explore to find the best path forward. But it is my conviction that we have to find a way to promote growth in a more responsible way that ensures that we have adequate transportation, and that ensures we have affordable housing, that ensures we have good and adequate schools, that ensures we have access to doctors and other health facilities, that ensures we have taken good care of our emergency services as they do take good care of us. So with those goals in mind, I look forward to working with my colleagues in a responsible and thoughtful way to address these concerns so that 4 years from now, when this particular term is over, we can look back and say, we made a difference. We made Sussex County a better, more livable community than it is now. And we put it on the path to a really healthy, long-term, resilient community. I want to thank everybody who supported me and worked so hard to get me elected, and I will pledge to work very, very hard to promote those goals and ideals that we all share.
Thank you. Mr. Rod?
Well, I would also like to add my comments that, welcome aboard to the new members. You worked hard to get here. I am encouraged that we have some thoughtful individuals that are joining us here on the council, and I look forward to some very dynamic discussions as we go forward. And I've always said that, the way I view this job is we are to seek the balance of what is legal, ethical, moral, and right for, everybody involved. And so as we seek that balance, I'm quite sure that we'll have a number of ideas that come to the table, build on what we've done over the last couple of years as far as making improvements to how development is done and what Sussex County will look like in the future. So thank you for your comments and welcome aboard.
Okay, we'll move on to our afternoon